hat and not a football fan, golf.
Mm-hmm.
He's a golf fan. I bought him golf balls with his college emblem on it and a hat and sent it to him as an apology.
I would have sent the, listen, that was really shitty. We were hoping you were there, and then left it up to them to be like, oh, shit, here's a better gift or something.
Yeah.
But they made it about the money. And it shouldn't be about the money. It should be about people are rude, people do suck, and I'm one of the people who believe that if somebody invites me to your wedding, that means you want me there on the most important day of your life. I'm going. I've been to weddings all over the world where I'm like, I'm going to go to your wedding. Yeah. And if they didn't think it was important now or whatever came up, you definitely owe an apology, and you definitely should be made to feel like shit. I don't think the $300 matters.
Yeah, I agree.
And I agree 100%. It is completely passive aggressive.
Yeah.
However, it would feel so good to send a bill.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Reasonable. All right. Let's get to the first part, which is the second part of this. I think asking somebody to a wedding on a first date is awesome. It's a fun environment. It's a romantic environment. Like he said, it wasn't like it was like come meet my entire family and make the person feel awkward. I think go for it. I've done that. I've been a wedding date. I'm not the best wedding date because I'm probably not dancing, but and I'm a little introverted, so don't invite me. But I like it, and I think him asking a girl for a wedding date, he's right, she's wrong.
I agree with that. I think as long as it's not your family. I think if it's your family, that's a little bit awkward because that's a lot if I barely even know your name. But I think if it's like a coworker or even just kind of a mutual friend situation, I think that's such a fun date. It's literally free drinks, good food. I mean,
and
really
music. Yeah, it's a really good date.
Yeah, and there's 100 other people you can talk to if it goes bad.
Yeah, and if she tries really hard to catch the bouquet, I'm gonna know. I'm gonna be like, oh, she really cares about this.
She likes
chick.
me.
Yeah,
We're probably next.
I agree 100%. If she thought it was a bad idea, she should have said no in the first place. But don't go and then do a Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, that was really awkward.
And I'm not even sure it's a deal breaker if it is a family wedding. It depends on your family. I one time got invited to Thanksgiving dinner on a first date. I was she's like, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? And I was like, honestly, nothing. And so I tend to get those pity invites once in a while. But she's like, listen, because we were going to go out the next night. We already had plans to go on a first date the Saturday of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And she's like, this sounds weird. Would you like to come? There's a lot of people there. My family's big and fun and whatever. It was so fun. I didn't end up liking her, but I really liked the family. And it was kind of she introduced me. This is our first date, and it was like a running joke, and it was fun. Again, it depends on the environment and all that. But people just saying hey, let's just try this out. We're going to dive into the deep end of the pool together and see where we go. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think if it's a first date, it's not like, oh, will you marry me? Come meet my family. It's. I think it's a perfectly appropriate thing, and it's a good way to dive in. Absolutely.
Weddings are fun.
Yeah,
they are.
Weddings are, yes.
All right, so good idea. Yes?
Good idea.
Yes.
Good idea. Okay. All right, here's a good idea because I got to pay maybe for somebody's wedding that I blow off. We got to take a quick break because I got to pay the bills around here, and we will be right back after this. And we are back. I'm here with Brad and Bree from Homanity, and we are playing Good Idea, Bad Idea with a lot of date suggestions, a lot of date ideas. And the next one is from Menner. Menner? Menner. Menner. I think I like that name. Is that a boy's name or a girl's name? I'm going to find out in 30 seconds.
I'm going to say a guy.
Okay. I think it's a guy. Menner. It is a guy. Okay. Hi, I'm 52 years old, just got out of a long relationship, and before that I was married for 8 years. I am starting to date again, and the one thing that I really do well that will really impress a woman is I am a gourmet cook, and I am a specialist at cooking for two. Wow. Which is actually a different talent from being a restaurant chef or cooking for a family. The problem is I would love to cook dinner for you is now seen as too forward, like I'm really inviting them over to kill or roofie them. Well, that's a little excessive. I used to do this all the time. I assume not kill or roofie them. I used to do this all the time and women loved it. Now they don't. I know you're probably going to say, why not wait till the second or third date to ask to cook for them? That's the problem. I don't do very well in other environments. I'm not relaxed and I overthink it. I'm sure they would like me if they would just come over and try my strawberry caprese. And pistachio pesto. It is out of this world, but I don't get the chance. I think it's still a wholesome date. Do I just keep asking and hope the right girl says, that sounds terrific? Now, men, you are right. Women used to love that. Mm-hmm. Before they started watching too many Lifetime movies and too much Dateline, the men used to say, I'd love to cook dinner for you sometime, was fantastic. The women would now he's right. A lot of women are like, I'm not going over to your place that quickly. Meanwhile, if you took him out to dinner, you would probably end up at their place anyway. So stop it, ladies. You know you'd go over to his place anyway. But it sucks that he can't do that. He's right. He should be able to hold off a couple of dates. Yeah. That can't be the only environment, or you're gonna have a little trouble anyway. Like the only time that you're able to relax is if you're flipping an omelet for her. Thoughts? Does he keep asking until somebody says yes?
I do agree. The idea is super nice, but like I would never go to a guy's house for dinner on the first day. I would truly think he was gonna like slip me something or whatever.
Why? We didn't used to do that.
Honestly, I watch like way too much Forensic Files, like all that. Right. And I'm like, oh my God, you could be the next Ted Bundy. I don't even know. So I think that's a lot of people's mindset is like, we're so taught, like, be on the edge, like, make sure. And so then we are, and you miss opportunities like this. But then I would say, like, why don't you do, like, a cooking class? Because then you could easily say, like, if you had fun, I would love. Off. Yeah. And then you could say, idea. I would love to cook for you. Because then you're like, okay, we're in public. I like you. This is fun. You don't have to talk that much because you're literally cooking. And then that totally transitions into like, oh, I would love for you to cook for me at your house.
Yeah. That's a great first date idea.
It's a good first date. Yeah, we bring that up a lot. Cooking class is good because you're both doing that. He can show. And you can't, men, or you can't be a dick like, that's not the way I would make it. Like you have to dial back your gourmet a little bit, but then you're involving cooking into that.
So it makes sense for why you would invite her over.
Yeah. I think it still is a sweet date. I do think if you ask enough women, there's enough women not like Bree who do not watch too much Forensic Files.
There are enough women out there who will jump at anything for a first date.
Yeah, and a free dinner.
And a free dinner.
Right.
There's no doubt.
Now, so I think it's a good idea. I think you should develop some other social skills and life skills. I think Bree has a better idea. The happy compromise is cooking class. Ask that first, and then while you're at the cooking class, like, I have a dish that's different. You should try this, and then you're home free. I think that's a good idea.
Menor needs a stress management meditation class, something to manage his anxiety, because if that's the only way that he's going to be comfortable around a woman,
I know,
then he's got bigger problems than whether or not he should cook him dinner.
And you're divorced, and you were in a long relationship for a long relationship, and you were married for 8 years. So don't act like you're some specialist at cooking for two. You cooked for these two. So I don't know how many twos you cooked for. Little bit of a sidebar, and not to be flippant about this. Tragically, we're in Scottsdale, Arizona, recording this. Camelback Mountain is right out the window, and you heard about that. Mm-hmm. The couple went hiking on a first date. That was a first date.
Which is a horrible idea.
It's a horrible idea. A lot of women in Denver especially, they love it. It's ridiculous. As some woman said at our show in Denver, if we really wanted to go hiking, they should serve wine on top of the mountain. Anyway, it was like a blind date. She came into town. They hiked Camelback. He had done it 1,000,000 times. Halfway up, she's like, I don't feel good. And he let her go back down the mountain. He continued to the top, and she died.
Yeah.
That's a really bad first date.
It's a bad first date. I don't like it. Now, in the stories now, they're referring to him as the boyfriend. The boyfriend is not a suspect. I'm like, he's not a boyfriend. It was a first date, and he's a shitty first date.
He's a shitty person.
He's a shitty person.
If you've already done it, the view is the same. That's also the same view you can get from like half of the houses in Paradise Valley, honestly.
So if you're not familiar with Scottsdale, Arizona, in July when this happened. It's the surface of the sun. It's like 1,000,000 degrees. It is really rough, and he should have known, as somebody who's experienced, like if somebody doesn't feel well and you still have to get back down, and he's a cop, paramedic, something like that,
like firefighter.
He's like, okay, I'll see you at the bottom, and she wandered off and she died.
And they
terrible
hiked
date
it without water.
I know.
Which I'm like, it's like, were you trying
Put that in your forensic file.
I'm like, were you trying to set her up? Like, first of all, if you ask me to hike Camelback for a date, that's a red flag. That is a huge red flag.
Why is it?
She's not the outdoorsy.
I did a hike in Hawaii and I saw Jesus halfway through. I was like, oh, please take me. But I'm so serious. I would really be thinking like, why do you want to see me like literally near death?
Sweaty, dirty, and panting.
120 degrees. And
You'd
then
be
you're
surprised
not
at how
water?
many people like that. Yeah. I don't like that.
If
I
I'm
think
still attracted, then the rest is going to be all.
Yeah, somebody's like, and you know, maybe he's like, you go first, and he can check out her ass. I don't know what the incentive is to do that. They could have done 1,000,000 other things. They didn't really know each other. Let's do that, and then she died. So he didn't kill her, but he didn't help.
Yeah, but he didn't. It's the like, you go back to the car. I'm going to finish it. Why?
Yeah, then what? I would be like, you're a dick then. Even if she made it to the bottom, you were never seeing her again.
I would have been on the next flight by the time you got to the bottom.
Did he even give her the car keys? You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, what was the thought?
This is awful.
Yeah, it was all bad. He was bad. He should be charged with something.
No, and
I don't like any of it.
If you want to incorporate Camelback into your first date, go have drinks at Sanctuary.
Yeah, and take pictures. Yeah,
Just go
it's
look at
lovely to look at, but I'm not.
Not hiking it for a date.
I'm not hiking for a date. All right. Sorry, Manor.
Sorry, man.
Sidebar. We lumped you in we lumped the dinner cooking man in with the bad hiker. You're not the same, even though there's cutlery and all sorts of things. All right. Next one, Caroline via our Instagram. She sent it. Do you know that show, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist? Do you know that show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
Okay, good, because I don't really know it, but I kind of know what it's about. She goes, that's pretty much my brain. I always want music playing. I want my entire life to be a musical. So I think the best dates need to have music involved, concert, jazz club, even taking guitar lessons together. The problem is most guys want to do two things: talk to me and then sleep with me, or maybe just talk to me in order to sleep with me. So it's really just one thing. Yes, there can be music playing during both of those things, but I really want to focus on the music and they want to focus on other things. If they want to know me and like me, they should plan dates that will help them know me and like me, and that means music. So this is somebody who needs music-related activities. That seems narrow.
I feel like, so the guitar lesson, yes, that's one thing, but like,
She needs a soundtrack.
yeah, I'm like, he wants to talk to you because that's the point of a date. Like, that's how you get to know someone. So I feel like you have to find a compromise and do like a little of both where you can talk and listen to music.
What happens on this show she referenced? She imagines everybody singing and dancing on that show?
Well, what happens is she has this extraordinary power that she can feel people's emotions because they automatically break into song about what they're feeling at any given moment, and then she has insight into their soul, and then she can help them through whatever it is that they're going through. So this is a power that...
This doesn't sound like Caroline has that.
No. It's yeah, I don't...
If you need...
Wow.
See, I feel like the music that you need a distraction because you have some nervous anxiety that you can't just be me and you and the sound is us. Mm-hmm. I think that's the issue here.
And it sounds like Caroline has gotten dumped a lot after she slept with someone once or twice.
Yeah, I think you're right on that too. And I'm not sure the music is going to change things either. You can put on Barry White and do whatever you want to do. You always want music playing. You want to do music playing activities. I get that. That would be, not to stereotype it, he'd be like, I always want something, I always want the game on in the background. I mean, background music, whatever, and having... It's just a very narrow path that you want to go on because you perceive that as your comfort zone. Well, most relationship success and most things that are going to go somewhere, I believe, happen outside of your comfort zone. So the guy who's going to be the guy is going to be the one who's like, you know what? I don't even think there was music playing. It was just us in this bubble. Us in the room. Yeah. And I think you want that, constantly bringing in this crutch of music. I like, most people do like music, but it's like when a lot of people are like, oh, I want to go to a concert on dates. Well, you can't really talk. You don't really get to know each other. And some people just don't want to get to know each other. I don't know.
I agree with that. I feel like if the music can be a side character almost to it, like if you did like a piano bar or something where it's still you two, but you have that music